What is up this year? LA in a minute, and we know that Nike's from Oregon. It's a company built on the backs of runners and pulled up by the shoelaces by founder Phil Knight and his team in Beaverton. But what if I told you that before Nike, there was Blue Ribbon Sports, the original running shoe company founded by Knight, and their first store was right here in Santa Monica. That's right, Nike, born in Oregon, raised in Los Angeles. Let's get into it. Phil Knight was a track and field runner at the University of Oregon under head coach Bill Bowerman up there in the top. After Knight graduated from Oregon, he went down to Stanford for business school, where he met an undergrad named Jeff Johnson. Eventually, between Knight, Bowerman, and Johnson, the running shoe industry and the running shoe itself would change forever. While attending Stanford Business School, Knight was tasked with inventing a business. He saw an opportunity to create high-quality shoes that were less expensive than the German running shoes that dominated the market at the time. This idea set the course for Phil Knight's life and the future of running and sports shoes. He founded Blue Ribbon Sports, a nod to the wall at his old childhood home and the room at his parents' house that was covered with blue ribbons from track meets from his youth. Knight and Blue Ribbon Sports were off and running on January 25th, 1964, when he started selling shoes from the back of his 1963 Plymouth Valiant. The next year, Knight and Blue Ribbon went back to his old mentor, Bill Bowerman, who signed on as a partner, designer, and mad scientist, urging Blue Ribbon Sports to continue upgrading their quality, comfort, and runnability. Blue Ribbon Sports' first shipment of shoes sold out in 3 weeks, and Knight realized he needed to expand his sales team. He traveled to California to recruit former running friends and salesmen and target the lucrative market of Los Angeles. While at a track meet at LA's Occidental College, Knight heard somebody call out his name. It was his former friend from Stanford, Jeff Johnson. Johnson was selling shoes for a competitor, so Knight offered him a job, which Johnson accepted in 1965, and Johnson went to work with gusto. Johnson pounded the pavement and hit the road. He sold shoes from the back of his red Ford Mustang at track meets, and he wrote letters to Knight, updating him of every single sale and things that needed to be done to build the company. And he thought that it was time for Blue Ribbon Sports to take the next step to open their own retail store. And Knight was leery and money was tight, so he told Johnson that he would only open the retail store if he could sell a certain number of shoes, which Knight himself deemed impossible. So Johnson hit that number and rented an unassuming storefront right here at 3107 Pico Boulevard in Santa Monica. This would become Blue Ribbon Sports, the world's first running specialty store. Wow. When Johnson first opened the store, it was a tiny space, maybe 350 square feet. It was a sanctuary for runners where they would read, they would research, they would hang out, they would exchange notes. And this is where Blue Ribbon Sports built their business. Okay, here's what's really cool. Nike actually reopened Blue Ribbon Sports on January 25th, 2019. So we're talking 5-year anniversary now. And you can make a pilgrimage to see the store where Nike was raised as Blue Ribbon Sports. And this is Jeff Johnson. Yes, the Jeff Johnson inside the new Blue Ribbon Sports store, which is actually the old Blue Ribbon Sports store in Santa Monica. Super cool. And when you go, make sure you know it's not a storefront. They don't sell shoes. It's more a sanctuary for runners, and it's not always open. So make sure you go to Nike.com LA to find out when you can visit. And look, Blue Ribbon Sports not only celebrates the history and culture of Nike, but it's a gathering place where runners today exchange notes, discuss running, and have that sense of community that Nike serves all throughout the world. And you know what else is really cool about the Blue Ribbon Sports in Santa Monica? It's where Nike hosts its 6 running clubs from all points throughout Los Angeles. So look, whether you're a Nike head or somebody that just loves Los Angeles, Blue Ribbon Sports is worth the pilgrimage. This is Los Angeles history. This is Blue Ribbon Sports. Now, as far as how they became Nike, well, that's for another episode. All right, LA, it's been a minute.